Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. I got the XRP chart up here on the hourly, and XRP today on Sunday, May the 28th, is just kind of hovering, although over the last few days we have seen a spike to the upside. Now again guys, this is the micro time frame. XRP did see this strong move up, and it is forming an ascending bullish triangular pattern, so a bullish pennant pattern. A lot of this was happening earlier on, and we were noticing higher volume, but guys, now the volume is fairly low. I mean, just extending this, zooming out, on the daily, we can see that, the trend pattern is still continuing to the upside. So we're seeing more green candlesticks here, a lot of buying pressure down here, a lot of buying volume. So XRP is doing okay. Comparing that to Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin on the daily, we can see Bitcoin has also moved up a little bit. Bitcoin right now, that was from yesterday, and Bitcoin today, as you guys can see, has seen a bit of an uptick. Right now it's trading at about 27.1, and about 24 hours ago it was trading at about 26.7. So we're up a little bit for Bitcoin. We can see 4 bullish days in a row, albeit, price movement has not rocketed to the upside yet. But, again, looking at the Bitcoin trend, we're still just kind of waiting in this pattern, and we have been, chopping sideways since about mid-March. But that's okay, guys. That is part of the boring beginning phases of the bull market. Of course, we had just been coming off a bear market for a year. November, December was the best time to be accumulating, but now we've been seeing higher highs and higher lows since January of 2023. And for those of you guys who are new to the market, or maybe, you're coming off last cycle's euphoria, and you're trying to navigate this and you're trying to think to yourself, what the heck is going on now? I wanted to bring you this clip here, guys, from Chris Berniski, okay? Boring equals the best time to accumulate. And this clip here is a bit by Kobe, okay? Luke Martin tweeted this out. Some of the best advice ever shared on a crypto broadcast or podcast. Try to perpetuate your interest through the boring bit. And guys, this is the boring bit. And, this is why I'm here, to perpetuate your interest in cryptocurrency, bringing you guys the latest news on, cryptocurrencies like XRP. But if you're trading, and I know a lot of you guys are trading, I wanted to bring you guys this. So that's the bit. So he goes on to say, that's the bit you're supposed to be interested in and taking your next 3 years of positions, because guys, we're going to be holding in this new market. We don't want to make any mistakes. If you want to leverage profit and make the most from those positions, you got to think about what you're going to get into now. He finishes off by saying, stick around for the boring part.
Do you think the majority of people that don't make it are the people that lose interest between bull markets? Like people that have known about it from so far back who still haven't made it? It's because as soon as it gets frothy, it gets to the bull market, they rebuy the all-time high breakout. So they rebought at like 20K and they play the bull market. They're a little bit naturally bearish, and the bear market hits and they stay interested for about a year. And then towards the tail end, like late 2018, 2019, they just naturally lose interest and they go, oh, this shit's over. I've got life commitments, whatever. And then they get back involved when it starts getting frothy again. And those are the people that are not going to make it. So if there is one piece of advice that I can give, is find a way to remain the same level of interest that you have now. When you check the chart every day, you lose sleep over your positions, whatever the fuck you're doing, you over leveraged apes. You need to have the same level of interest when everything's really boring. Because right now it's everyone's interested, right? My parents are super in what shall I buy? My friends from school way back when are hitting me up saying, is Cardano good and whatever. But none of those people are interested in the bottom. None of those people are interested when it's going sideways for 6 months. And if you tell those people at the bottom in the 6 month sideways, now's the time, they fucking ignore you. They're like, nah, it seems a bit risky. It's not for me. I'll look at it later. And then they hit you up in January of this year. Is it too late to get in, by the way? And you're like, no, just immediately market buy. It's 25K or something. It's 30K. And they're like, I'm going to wait for a dip. And at 60K, they're like, is it too late to market buy, like you said? And you're like, bro, I have no advice for you anymore. I told you at 4K to buy. I told you at 6K to buy. I told you at 7K to buy. So the main way you have to make it is try and perpetuate your interest through the boring bit. The boring bit is where the opportunity is, when all these moon boys and all the marketers and all the LARPers, they disappear from Twitter and they don't participate anymore. Their accounts just stop tweeting. That's the bit where you're supposed to be interested and you're supposed to be taking your next 3 years of positions. Most people that don't make it, they stick around for the fun bit. That's it. Stick around for the boring bit.
I think you're exactly right, man.
110%. I cannot tell you how many times I have been living this guy's same story. People coming up to me during the frothy bit, as he says, in 2021, what should I buy? Is now a good time to buy? And I'm like, I wouldn't. I mean, you could, and you can make a little bit of money. I wouldn't buy. I've already bought my positions. I got into my positions in 2018, 2019, some in early 2020, which, even in my opinion was a little late. But I got to tell you one story. I did meet a friend for lunch back in 2019. He did inherit some money, and I told him I was in crypto. He was kind of interested in the idea, and he invested quite a bit of money. Fast forward to 2021, and this guy ended up buying a $1 million plus house in a major city. And he told me afterwards, he's like, dude, you changed my life. Without you, I would not have been able to do this. So pay attention, guys. Now is the time to be getting into the market. I'm going to try not to hit you guys over the head with this again and again and again, but I am going to mention it today again. Only $5 a month, guys. I'm going to be trading on my Patreon. Well, I'm going to be documenting my trades. I'm going to be posting them on the day that they occur. I'm going to let you guys in on my entries. We're going to talk a little bit about exits. It's at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, and it is only $5 a month. It's funny because I've been getting, comments in the comment section saying, bro, you keep, pushing this Patreon. It's probably because you can't live and you're trying to make money this way and blah, blah, blah. I go, look, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was trying to make money from the Patreon, I would be charging a heck of a lot more than $5 a month. I think I could probably get away with charging a lot more than that. This is mostly so that you guys can see my trading journey. And, to this point here, to the podcast, now is the time to be getting into the market if you guys are interested in trading cryptocurrency and looking for those mega profits. So again, it's at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If that is something that you are interested in, I know, this market is getting boring, but, we're kind of on the precipice of something really, really interesting happening. And, there's a lot going on in terms of the regulatory clarity. We've got a new U.S. presidential candidate, Ron DeSantis, coming out saying the IRS is a corrupt institution. So this doesn't have to do so much with cryptocurrency, but, the changing landscape and where all this is going to be falling come this election 2024. So following Joe Biden's inauguration, he substantially expanded the IRS in his 2024 budget plan. But Ron DeSantis has now come out and said, I think the IRS is a corrupt organization, and I think it's not a friend of the average citizen or taxpayer. We need something totally different. And what he was suggesting is perhaps just a flat tax. That was one of his ideas here. Anyway, Ron DeSantis has been on the interview track, talking to a lot of people. I don't know if you guys caught that interview that he did on Elon Musk's Twitter Spaces. I caught some of it. It was pretty interesting. I thought we got to reshape America. Considering, this is now the world that we have been brought into, and, it's no fault of ours. The powers that be are crashing or trying to crash the system, ushering in this great reset. And now we're seeing countries like China making big moves, countries like Russia as well, guys. I happen to see this from Michael Branch. China is to settle $582.3 billion in yuan worldwide amid a push to circumvent the US dollar. So apparently they've been doing this since 2016. They've been, brokering deals with other countries. And it says down here, it's been reported that 40 countries and regions have brokered deals with China to agree to use the Chinese yuan. Some of those countries include Russia, Venezuela, the United Arab Emirates, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia. China says its moves are designed to boost the yuan's role in international trade and circumvent the need to depend on the US dollar. There is a need to promote cross-border yuan settlement to make bilateral trade more efficient and boost the yuan's internationalization process. To be sure, cross-border trade settlements in the yuan will reduce many countries' dependence on the US dollar. China says direct settlement in yuan will also shield countries against the weaponized dollar, pointing to sanctions levied against Russia in the aftermath of the country's invasion of Ukraine. So, sociopolitical reasons as well. It doesn't end there. U.S. dollar dominance is under threat. I know there are some pundits that suggest that it's not. However, all things considered, we are seeing a changing landscape. And, for Americans too, in a lot of cases, we're hoping that, there is big change coming down the pike. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael for posting those. I happen to see this too from Mr. Hubert here on Twitter. John Deaton said that Coinbase could ask for the Hinman emails too if Ripple agrees not to make them public. Can Ripple even do that? I don't think Coinbase will ever comment or even get close to anything remotely related to Hinman. They were involved in the whole mess themselves. They already knew what Hinman will do in March 18. I don't know if it means March 2018 or March 18th. So just pointing this out here from Coinbase's website, there have been more than 1,400 currencies and tokens available, yet we limit our trading to 4 and have regulatory clarity on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Currently, the exchange supports only these 4 assets. Part of the reason we trade only those 4 assets is that each of them has been determined by regulators to be a virtual currency and therefore not a security. We are studiously avoiding listing tokens that could be determined to be securities because we are not currently licensed to trade securities and cannot take the risk inadvertently trading an asset that is later found to be a security. So this was an older statement. Down here, David Schwartz actually commented on this. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think Ripple can agree not to make the Hinman documents public. The judge just ruled, and they're judicial documents, and that no factors outweigh the public's right to access them. Frank down here also commenting on this. I asked Crypto Law, which I assume is John Deaton, earlier this week, if part of a settlement could be the emails won't be released, or if it was not possible to stop their release, could both sides as part of a settlement redact most, if not all of the emails? And the response I got was this, okay, a comet could also hit the Earth. So I'm guessing that no matter what, the emails will in fact be released. If you guys were wondering what this could mean. Anyway, just a little bit of postulating here, I think, for Mr. Hubert. But, it is good to ask questions and to keep asking questions. What could happen next in this lawsuit? I mean, we're all just kind of waiting for that next James K. Filan update. And, we're all just kind of wondering, okay, where's the target now, right? Is the date July? For so many months, we thought we were going to see a verdict by the end of March, so on and so forth. Brad Garlinghouse has even said it's no longer going to take months. It's only going to take weeks to come to a final Ripple verdict. Alas, we continue waiting. But I hope you guys are enjoying your long weekend in the meantime. I also happen to see this from Matthew Liny with regards to a new update, a Hyperledger update from this month. Now, I brought up the Hyperledger Consortium webpage, and you can see they outline it very, very clearly here with regards to platforms. Some of these are connected to Ripple, as we know, AWS being one of the bigger ones. We got standards. We also got services over here on this side, Accenture, Capgemini, Fujitsu, Infosys, all these companies too connected to Ripple. But the Interledger Consortium is more than just Ripple and XRP, guys. This is a consortium of companies running on DLT technology, part of the Hyperledger Foundation. But it is interesting to note how many Ripple companies there are in here. And also, it's good to note there are some other cryptocurrency projects here that I have highlighted on my Patreon. Some cryptocurrencies that I think could do well in this next bull run. Over here, American Express is also a Ripple partner. What else do we got here? A lot of different companies. Even Stellar is mentioned here under members of the Hyperledger Foundation. So the landscape is growing and, it is becoming more and more prominent. As Matthew points out here, members equals $8 trillion. Crypto projects will be utilized. So again, these are cryptocurrencies that solve problems. Some of these cryptocurrencies I hold already, like XRP, I hold HBAR, I hold Algorand, I do hold some Solana. So these are all cryptocurrencies that I don't even talk about in my Patreon. These have been, positions that I've held for a while, but, I have outlined another over between 10 and 15 coins so far on top of these particular cryptocurrencies that I also think will do well. So again, if you guys are interested in that, just thought I'd bring that up considering, the Hyperledger Foundation has also made their most recent update, May 2023. I also happen to see this, guys, another great project that I love, VeChain. And Cryptic Poet posted this with regards to VeChain. They attended a private meeting with the Boston Consulting Group and 1,800 plus leaders from billion-dollar companies to drive the blockchain of the future. And a little sneak peek, I don't think it's too much of a surprise, but I do highlight VeChain in the entries that I got in at on my Patreon channel. VeChain, though, has, through innovative means, promoted the agenda of environmental, social, and governance, so ESG, in the last few years. Its passion for this course has earned an invite to a private meeting with the Boston Consultancy Group and 1,800 leaders of global enterprises. Interestingly, VeChain was the only blockchain invited. So that is quite interesting, considering usually Ripple, that spot is usually held for a company like Ripple or, only a handful of others. But, the fact that VeChain was one of those companies did pique my interest. In a tweet, VeChain urged Enterprise to consider its new development tools to understand why Enterprise chose their native token VET. As part of the description of its promotional video from the event, it presented the VORJ.app to the world. So that was the latest thing, the new project here for the VeChain blockchain. So this is another cryptocurrency. Again, guys, great real world utility, but also at a very attractive price right now. ESG, as they talk about too, is, the buzz term now for this decade in terms of investments, Not that I necessarily agree with it, but guys, we are going with the grain on trading these digital assets, and we're going to cash out for profit once they do hit our targets. And VeChain too, like I've said before, it is one of those cryptocurrencies where they can really expand into so many different new types of businesses just because of their their concept for utility. Supply chain management, tracking anything on the blockchain. Pretty much every single company needs something like VeChain. So a great project, I think, and some new news here with regards to VeChain coming from the Cryptic Poet. So I wanted to thank him for posting that. I also happen to see this. Cryptic Poet also posted this with regards to Ripple partner UniCredit. They are now expanding their payment partnership with MasterCard. UniCredit and MasterCard have announced a global expansion of their payment partnership. The UniCredit Unlock strategy brings together UniCredit's ability to harness the weight of 13 banks as one institution and MasterCard's expertise in the card payment space. The expansion of the parties' relationships will deliver payment innovation and enhance digital experiences to customers. This multi-year partnership enables the Italian bank to provide a unique offering for all its cardholders, delivering a simplified core product proposition and optimized digital experience with a full suite of in-app solutions. So there was quite a significant amount of Italian banks that I know were running on Ripple technology. UniCredit was one of them. But guys, this partnership with MasterCard, we know MasterCard is also tied to Ripple. However, it's their competitor Visa who really does have that big connection to Ripple through the Earthport acquisition from back in 2019. The partnership here, though, will focus on supporting the delivery of UniCredit's strategic priorities. This includes digitalization of payment solutions and offering multifunction solutions with a fully equipped card. It aligns with UniCredit's ambition to build increased performance and loyalty across the customer lifecycle, enriching bank-wide opportunities using MasterCard's brand platform and sponsorship marketing assets. So all these payment providers are, or at least the smart ones, are realizing we need to move in the right direction. And MasterCard's on board, Visa's on board. There's so many payment providers that are realizing, MoneyGram's another one early on who realized, look, we need to utilize and leverage DLT technology because, guys, this is the future of payments and we do not want to be left behind. Who was that guy from that podcast who said, all these banks don't want to be the first, but they will all be clamoring to be the second to jump on board to this new type of technology. So, whether it's Ripple, whether it's Stellar, or something similar, guys, DLT technology is going to change the face of finance, and we're already seeing it here with these types of connections and these types of, in this case, Ripple partners. So another great one here from the Cryptic Poet. Wanted to thank him for that. And a few other people were wondering here, was this photoshopped? Is this real? Mr. Hubert bringing this to our attention. It's strange on so many different levels. Why, guys, would NASDAQ do something like this? Well, can we get past the litigation so institutions don't have to dance around Ripple anymore, but call a spade a spade? Now, this is interesting because some people down in the comment section were calling it fake. Some people were just not believing it. Digital Asset Investor here also tweeted this out. Some people are saying, what is it? Crypto Hado down here saying the image appears to be fake, but what's real is Ripple is turning the tide on the crypto war. Matthew XRP down here saying maybe, but that's a fake picture, just saying. So people were wondering, is this fake? Zoom Out's also saying it's fake. Not a lot of people are, really believing this, but I gotta say, this was originally tweeted out by Medico. So Medico, for those of you guys who do not remember, was just acquired by Ripple, and I did a video on that last week or the week before. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Weekend vibes, they say, NASDAQ, Ripple, and Medico here. So Ripple being plastered here in this NASDAQ advertisement. Is it true? Fake picture, says Graham Turner. So all these people saying it's fake. However, Medico, who was just recently acquired by Ripple, did just tweet this out. So maybe somebody didn't do their homework. However, we're getting a lot more news here, a lot more people saying that, it is not fake. Who's this here? WadsPay here saying, or the ruler WadsPay here saying, or you can just have the real thing with WadsPay. NASDAQ exchange officially congratulates WadsPay. So some people were saying, if the NASDAQ were going to congratulate WadsPay, why would they not congratulate Ripple? Steve down here saying agreed. Someone at NASDAQ signed off on spending money advertising this. They must be awfully confident. Vinyl Wasp down here saying probably because they smell a sniff of IPO in the air. Now, I don't know if he's referring to the Ripple advertisement or the WadsPay advertisement, but that's what I was thinking too. If this in fact is real, guys, and we do not have confirmation on that. I don't know if there's somebody on the ground there in New York that can confirm. But if this is real, why would they be doing this if, in fact, the lawsuit was going to drag on for much longer? On top of that, why would they do this if, in fact, Ripple was going to lose the lawsuit? So it does speak to a confident NASDAQ, the fact that they would plaster this all over town. Also, who was it? Was Steve was mentioning down here was, the sniff of an IPO could be in the air, and we know Ripple has always said that they want to go public, and that in fact it is the lawsuit that is holding them back. But if there is a verdict coming out very, very soon in weeks, according to Brad Garlinghouse, compared to months, which we are, crossing our fingers, hoping that it is true, would a NASDAQ advertisement of Ripple and Medico make sense? Andrew saying, it's most likely real since NASDAQ congratulated WadsPay in the same way. Winning smell, says Abdul Amen here on Twitter. And even WadsPay Eve says, every Ripple and XRP investor going nuts on this. Well, we have everything, WadsPay. So, WadsPay trying to promote their brand down here too. Hey, Medico, lots of people are saying this is a fake image. Can you confirm if it's genuine, yes or no? So we will see, guys. Maybe they will retract the tweet. I don't know yet. What I do know is that if this is for real, this would in fact be a loaded message to not only the XRP community, but institutional investors, letting them know to get in while the prices are still too good to be true. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.